So, I mean, for a long time, I was experiencing in the space that I'm in, sort of the embodiment space, it's mostly a lot of white women talking about, you know, being feeling great. And it's triggering, not gonna lie, triggering. And I'm some like triggers for me, it's like it means there's something there for me to look at. Like it's not an external I hate you thing. It's just like, okay, what's there for me that's for me to look at and how can I grow from this? And it partly because I, you know, grew up in in a household, in a body that did not feel good, didn't know how to feel, well, knew how to feel good, but it wasn't necessarily, you know, the most healthiest ways of feeling good, and very repressed. So there's that that bit. And also because I didn't understand it, you know, it's like when you don't understand something that feels that the media sort of makes you feel is integral to being a woman, it's painful. So there's also that bit. And, you know, there's loads of other pieces to this, which mean that there are people that find it easier to be in that place than others. I don't want to use the P word, but that's true. So what I want to say is, another learning I've had from Michaela is that the pleasure feels like a frivolity. It feels like, oh, you know, how can I? But for Black, Indigenous people of colour, feeling good is essential. It's essential. It's something that if we can bring to our awareness helps us to, you know, and I don't want to put pleasure as something to do necessarily to make you anything in particular, because that's not necessarily the way that we experience pleasure to its fullest. But if you are needing some validation or reasons to go there, it's a massive part of how we stay resilient, actually. It's integral to our human makeup. Being able to feel good and move towards things that make us feel good, keep us going, keep us healthy, keep our system, you know, open to healing and moving towards wholeness and, you know, moving away from shutdown and all the good things, you know, that you want your body to experience. The fullness and feeling good is one part of it, you know. And so Black and Indigenous peoples, it's really important. Talk about, you know, breaking generational curses. We're doing that work, you know, when we can find ways to feel good. And it can appear frivolous if you're looking at it, you know, externally, or other white women shaking their asses and shaking their hair. But you can all experience pleasure in different ways, and what feels pleasurable to you is really important. And finding ways for our bodies to expand into that capacity is such a beautiful thing, and such a thing that we can have access to with a little bit of effort, if that's needed, for our resilience, you know, for our continued survival and flourishing. Not just survival, but also flourishing. You know, nourishing ourselves, flourishing. Yeah, it's a really important part. Doing, you know, I talk about sadness at having access to things that my mother didn't have access to, but also I celebrate that because I can continue to open and flourish and nourish my line, you know, rather than, you know, shut down. I can open and flourish and heal that, which is a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. So I'm celebrating that, and I'm taking every opportunity to be in that and just to dance in that space, you know. Not literally dance, but sometimes literally dance, but to be in that pleasurable space or feeling good space, and, you know, or be in the absence of pain space, just for some time, for a moment even. So yeah, that's my thoughts today. Much love to you all.